here is the detail around issues and stakeholders. So the whole intention of this application was whenever somebody created an issue, what they could do is profile to whom they feel it's going to affect. So this might be a multi-location organization, in which case you'd say all locations are affected and all departments are affected. But you might step back and say, well, it's all, only the finance group is affected in all locations. Now, if you happen to be in the finance group in one of these locations, your name would show up here. So there are a couple of formulas here that are figuring this out. First of all, these checkboxes are a handy way of selecting what's selected over here. You can see it's morphing. Let's take a look at the formula in this one. This is for locations, so I'm going to edit this. So it's really creating a list based upon these checkboxes that are here. If the all is checked in the record, what happens is there's a form rule that says check all the other ones. So when I select this, it checks them all. When I select this, it checks them all. Let's take a look at that form rule. We'll come back over here and look at the dynamic form rules. And here's the one for locations. When all locations is checked, change these to all checked. Now notice this down here. I've unchecked this so that it's dynamic and will happen immediately. And there's another one that does the same thing for departments, exact same kind of thing. So, all right, let's go back. So we've got this text field now that kind of concatenates and lists in this field right here. Now, there's also this down here. Now, this is always pulling in the current user's information. You can see that it sees me. I'll never see somebody else's name here. Why? Right-click, edit the field properties. If you look at this field, it's a formula. Now, there's a stakeholders table and a user field of the people in those departments, in those locations. And I've changed this to a formula. The key field is the user field of the and it comes down, stakeholders, and it comes down into this table. And I've made this a formula so it always represents the person you are. And let's go look at stakeholders for a second so we get that right. So here's Kirk. So you can see I'm location Boston and I'm in Department of Sales. There's a relationship between here. And that relationship shows us that on the parental side, the stakeholders, the username is the key field. If I can figure out how to put my name in this field, I can pull down what my department is, what my location is, who my manager is. I can pull down all kinds of information about me. And it happens automatically. And so this is usually a drop-down box, but when I click on it, I've changed the type to a user formula. And if you put this in here, it'll substitute whoever you are right into the formula, which notifies the individual record that we're on. And let's view one of these. And down at the bottom, you can see that it's pulling down this. Now, if this matches with inside here or inside here, I want this to be populated with the name, which is kind of like permission to be included in a notification email. That's the whole idea, is to promote this here. So let's take a look at this formula. When I look at this formula, I'm using the contains. So I'm saying if the location list of all the places has yours in it, and the department list has yours in it, and that's true, then put your name there. If not, just be null. Don't do anything. Okay, with that then, what you can do is create an email that is based upon your location and department. Now you'll notice this one, there's only one in here for me. and it's because it's only one open one. Let's look at the filtered report. And this is the big deal. When you're talking about sending a subscription report out, you can be really powerfully handling this area right here. When the stakeholder is the current user, imagine QuickBase wakes up at midnight to send off these reports. It actually iterates through and checks all the different scenarios of whether you are a stakeholder in there. And it iterates through all of them. So it just gives you yours, and other people will only get theirs. It's a very intelligent kind of report, these subscription reports. And of course, only if the status is open. If they get closed, then it's not going to notify you of this. But this is a weekly report. It could be done daily. And that's pretty much the detail behind profiling issues and wanting to let all the stakeholders know so that they can weigh in and observe what's some important happening inside your company.